Sri Gurubhyo Namah, children. Today we are going to discuss how to calculate the oxidation number of the central metal atom in coordination complexes. Okay, so in coordination complex, if we take, there are four different representations of coordination complexes. Okay, before that, let us see what is meant by oxidation number, right? Actually, the oxidation number is the residual charge that appears on the central metal atom. Okay. So when the residual charge will be appearing on the central metal atom, when all other atoms are removed. What are the atoms? Either they may be the neutral molecules or the anionic species present around the central metal atom. So when these species are removed, then finally the residual charge present on the central metal atom is considered to be the oxidation number. Is it clear? Right. Now the charge on the complex is the sum of charge, the charge on the complex, which means what? A complete complex, coordination complex will be having a charge, right? If it has anion on the right side, then the anionic charge will be attained by the sphere. If it has cation in front of the sphere, that means on the left hand side, then the charge of that cation will be attained by the anionic sphere. Is it clear? So it is the sum of charge of the constituent parts. What are the constituent parts here? Either they may be the negative ion or it may be neutral molecule. Is it clear? The sum of charges of the constituent, the sum of charges of the constituent is equal to 0. When it will become 0? When the complex contains neutral molecule as a ligand. Okay, when the central metal atom has a neutral molecule as ligand within it, then the complex itself will be the neutral complex. So the charge of the complex will become 0, so that the central metal atom also will attain 0 oxidation state. Okay, for an anionic or cationic complex, for example, we may have two spheres. We may have two spheres, anionic sphere as well as cationic sphere. For example, see, this is the sphere which may be a complex, and this sphere will attain, as it is present on the left side, it attains positive charge, and on right side it is present, so this complex will be attaining negative charge. Okay, so the anionic or cationic complex in a coordination compound, the sum of the charge of the constituent is equal to the charge of the coordination sphere. That means if this complex, okay, if this complex is positive, then definitely this is actually, we know that the part which is the sphere which is present on the right hand side will be the anion, left hand side will be the cation. So the sum of charge of the constituent is equal to the charge of coordination sphere. For example, in the sphere, the metal may have a negative ligand. Okay, so the metal, the metal may have a ligand which is negative. Okay, so that the complex itself will be attaining negative charge. And here in this complex, it may be having the ligand which is neutral. Okay, it may be neutral. But we have to consider the negative charge of the second complex, so that the first complex will be the positive one. If this complex is attaining 3 minus as the charge, then it will become 3 plus. Okay, this complex will be attaining 3 plus as its charge. Okay, so this is how we can calculate and assign or assume the oxidation state of the complexes. Okay. Now, as I said, we have four different representations of the coordination spheres. Okay. See, if you check the first case, the complex, that means the sphere contains metal as well as the ligand in the entity. That means totally inside the entity. Whereas in the second complex, see, a cation is present and then the complex is also present. As the cation is present in front, this complex will be the negative complex. Okay. And here the sphere is present on the left side and the anion is on the right side. Okay. So the sphere is getting positive charge. And here we have two complexes. Okay. So in this case, you have to check the ligand. If the first complex contains neutral ligand and the second complex contains the negative ligand, then it will be the negative. Almost most of the cases, okay, when the second sphere is present, that second sphere is considered to be the negative sphere and the first sphere is positive sphere. And it contains, you can identify the oxidation number by looking at the ligand itself. Now here we have oxalate as the ligand, which is a negative ligand. So of course the sphere will be attaining negative charge. Okay, as this is neutral, there is no charge for the sphere, but the second complex is attaining negative charge so that the first complex is being positive. Is it clear, children? And let me show you, before determining the oxidation number, first we have to check what type of complexes we have and how it can be dissociated so that it will be easy for us to determine the oxidation number of the central metal atom, right? So now in this first case, actually the metal as well as the ligand are present in the same sphere. So it cannot be dissociated. As it is, it can be written after the dissociation. That means there is no dissociation at all. In such cases, these kind of complexes are called non-electrolyte. Okay, non-electrolytic complex. Right? Why it is considered to be non-electrolyte? Because it cannot be dissociated and it cannot give any cations or anions. Right? So such type of complexes are called non-electrolytic or can be called as neutral complex. Okay, neutral complex. Right? Now in the second case, we have positive ion as well as negative complex. So in this case, if it is getting dissociated, okay, we'll be getting 4 cations. That means 4 potassium ions and then this ferrous cyanide complex will be the anionic complex. Okay. Now in this potassium is simple cation, whereas this ferrocyanide is complex anion. Okay. Because it cannot be dissociated further. Right. So this ferrocyanide cannot be dissociated. Right. Okay. It will not dissociate into Fe2 plus and Cl minus. There is no possibility of this dissociation because this is a complex. Okay, complex anion, right? So potassium is the cation and ferrocyanide is the anionic complex. In this third case, it can be dissociated because the sphere is present on the left hand side. So it is a complex cation. Okay, when it is getting dissociated, we will get a complex cation. Let us see the charge later. And then the anion is SO4 2 minus. So the charge of the anion is 2 minus. So of course this complex will attain 2 plus as the charge. Is it clear? So the charge of this copper will be 2 plus only there. Right? So it is very easy, children, to determine the oxidation state. It is not a tough topic at all. Right? So in this case, this is being the complex anion. It cannot be dissociated further, and it is simple anion. Okay, so this is cation, complex cation, and this is simple anion. And in this last case, there are two spheres, and the spheres cannot be made as simple ions, isn't it? So that we'll be getting two complexes. In these two complexes, the first complex, right? In first complex, cobalt is the central metal atom, and the second complex, chromium, is the central metal atom. And this complex being present on the left side, it is complex cation, and this complex is complex anion. Okay, so this is how we can easily determine which is the positive one, and the negative complex or negative simple ion can be determined very easily from the complexes given. If we identify this, it is easy for us to determine the oxidation state. Here, children, so let us go for the examples now, how to determine the oxidation state of the central metal atom in different cases. Okay, now we have our complex number 1, nickel carbonyl complex. So here we have 4 carbonyl groups, so it can be named as tetracarbonyl nickelate. Namings I'll teach you later. So this is a complex of nickel carbonyl. Okay, right. Here, nickel is our central metal atom. What is nickel? It is our central metal atom. Whereas the carbonyl group is our ligand. Okay, so whenever we try to determine the oxidation number, first we should identify the type of ligand, right? Okay, and what type of linkage it will have with the central metal atom. So now here we have a ligand carbonyl, which is neutral. Is it clear? If the ligand is neutral, of course, the charge will be 0. Okay, children. So by the charge itself, we can say that this complex is a neutral complex. Now let us go for the oxidation number. So what is oxidation number now? What is oxidation number? We know that oxidation number is the sum of charge of the ligands present around the central metal atom. Okay, here our central metal atom is the ligand, sorry, nickel, right? Whose oxidation number we are going to find out. So let us take it as X, and how many carbonyl groups are present here? 4, and whose charge will be 0, and there is no residual charge on the sphere, so it is 0. So X is equal to 0, right? Therefore, oxidation number of nickel is 0. Is it clear, children? Okay, because when we take this complex, it is a neutral complex. What type of complex it is? A neutral complex, because it has neutral ligand. Okay, this is a neutral complex. Normally, nickel, when it gets combined with the carbonyl or the neutral ligands, it will be attaining the charge 0. Okay, that means the oxidation number will be 0, right? Now, the second example contains a simple cation and complex anion. Okay, already I taught you how it is getting dissociated. Now, it is getting dissociated into 4K plus, okay, as simple cation, and FeCN6. 4 minus will be the charge of the complex. Why it is 4 minus? Because we have 4 positive ions are present here. That is why the charge of the complex is 4 minus. Is it clear? Now, in this complex, we have potassium and ferrocyanide. Okay, actually, we are going to find out the oxidation number of this central metal atom ion. Okay, so here we have 4 potassium ions, so that 4 whose charge is +1. Okay, and ion X, let us take it as X because this is the central metal atom. Okay, this is the central metal atom. X plus 6 cyanide ions are there, and it is the unidentate ligand whose charge is -1, whereas the charge of potassium is +1. Okay, and 6 into -1, whereas there is no residual charge on the sphere, so it is 0. So 4 plus x minus 6 is equal to 0. Then x minus 2 is equal to 0. Therefore, x is equal to +2. Is it clear, children? Okay, so this is the oxidation state or oxidation number or charge of the central metal atom. Is it clear? Okay. And the third complex, in this complex, we have the sphere as cation and sulfate as the simple anion. Okay, so now we have the sphere. What is the sphere? It contains copper as the central metal atom and ammonia molecules. Okay, so it is considered to be complex cation, right? Whereas this sulfate is simple anion. Okay, so how to determine the oxidation state? As usual, we know that. Okay, so now we are going to find out the oxidation state of copper. Okay, so it can be taken as X, right? X plus, and there are 4 ammonia molecules are present, but the charge of ammonia is 0 because it is a neutral ligand. Okay, and how many anions are there? Only one anion is present. That means sulfate, whose charge is -2. And there is no charge on the sphere. So it is taken as 0. Right? So x minus 2 is equal to 0. Therefore, x is equal to +2. Is it clear, children? So now this complex contains copper as the central metal atom. Therefore, oxidation state of copper is equal to 2 plus or +2. Okay, so it can be written as Cu2 plus. Okay, Cu2 plus. This is the oxidation state of copper, right? Now we have another example. Okay, in this example, we have 2 spheres. The first sphere contains cobalt as the central metal atom, and the second sphere contains chromium as the central metal atom. So in such cases, already I told you that the sum of the ligands present on the anionic species will be the charge of the central metal atom, and that charge will be attained by the cationic species. And here we have oxalate. How many oxalate are there? 3 oxalate ions are there. Okay, so this chromium complex will be getting the charge of 3, where it is on the right hand side, so it is a negative complex. So 3 minus is the charge of this complex. As 3 minus is the charge of the negative complex, then of course the positive complex will be attaining positive charge. That means 3 plus. Is it clear, children? So easily we can identify with the help of the ligand which is present in the anionic species. Anyway, let us get into the usual calculation of oxidation state to prove, because some of you may have how it can be determined. So let us get into the calculation, how to calculate the oxidation number of the central metal atom. Okay. So now here in our complex, we have cobalt as our central metal atom. Okay. So we are going to find the charge of cobalt only. So let us take it as X. So X plus, there are 6 ammonia molecules are there, and whose charge will become 0, and then the charge of this complex is 3 plus. Okay. So X is equal to plus 3, or P plus is the oxidation state of cobalt. Therefore, oxidation state of cobalt is plus 3. So we can write cobalt as CO3 plus ion. Can you understand, children? Okay. Now let us go to the next one, next complex, second complex. Here in this complex, we have chromium as our central metal atom. Okay. So let us take the oxidation number of chromium that we are going to find out as X. Okay. Plus 3 oxalates are present in the complex as ligand. But the charge of that oxalate is -2, right? Is equal to the charge of this complex is -3, or 3 minus also you can write. So X minus 6 is equal to -3. X is equal to -3. When we bring that to -6 this side, it becomes +6. So X is equal to +3. Okay. So here also chromium oxidation state will be +3. So both are in the same oxidation state, cobalt as well as chromium. Okay, this one is also in +3 oxidation state, whereas chromium is also in +3 oxidation state. Okay, children, I think you are now ready to calculate. If any complex is given to you, you will be calculating the oxidation number very easily, because I have taught you 4 different complexes. Okay, so this oxidation number calculation will be asked in 1 mark, right? In your exams, like competitive exams also, they'll ask you to identify. This will be like a multiple choice question. Okay, so they'll ask you to find out the coordination number or oxidation number of the central metal atom. Okay, so now we have discussed how to calculate the oxidation number. So next, let me teach you how to calculate the coordination number. Okay, children, thank you.